وأن نفخة إسرافيل ثانية في الصور حقا فيحيى كل من قبضا.
And the Santa Claus myth, it teaches the children to believe that Santa Claus is watching them. Therefore, they are taught that Santa Claus knows when they're asleep, he knows when they're awake, and he knows if they have been good or if they have been bad. Look how they give a fictitious character, attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. As Allah Ta'ala said, وَاللَّهُ يَعْلَمُ مُتَقَلَّبَكُمْ وَمَثْوَاكُمْ. And Allah knows you're moving about and when you settle. Imam al-Tabari, he says this means that Allah Ta'ala, He knows what you do when you are awake and He knows when you go to sleep. These are the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal, not of some myth, pagan Santa Claus. And so the parents must teach their children to obey Allah, to be good, because Allah Ta'ala is always watching you, not Santa Claus. إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ عَلَيْكُمْ رَقِيبًا. Indeed, Allah is over you a watcher, an observer. And He said, وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَعْلَمُ مَا فِي أَنفُسِكُمْ فَاحْذَرُوهُ وَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ غَفُورٌ حَلِيمٌ. And know, have knowledge that Allah knows what is inside of yourselves. So beware of Him and have knowledge that Allah is the all-forgiving, the one who gives respect, the one who is forbearing. And Christmas teaches the children to seek help from Santa Claus. And that is why during the COVID-19, kids were writing letters to Santa Claus asking him for a cure. But we are commanded to teach our children to seek help from Allah Azza wa Jalla alone. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You alone do we worship and you alone do we seek help. This Santa Claus fairy tale, it teaches the kids to lie because the parents lie to their children, saying Santa Claus brought these gifts, perpetuating a lie. And they have people that when their kids write letters to Santa Claus, they write back as though they're Santa Claus, perpetuating the lie. When the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salam, he said, وَإِيَّاكَ He said, وَإِيَّاكُمُ الْكَذَبَ فَإِنَّ الْكَذَبَ يَهْدِي إِلَى الْفُجُورِ. He said, beware of lying, for indeed lying leads to wickedness. During Christmas, when the kids get all these presents and gifts, who do they think? They think Santa Claus. Although their parents have spent their yearly savings going into debt to buy these gifts. But Allah Ta'ala has commanded us to thank our parents. He said, أَنِشْكُرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيْكَ إِلَيَّ الْمَصِيرُ. And show gratitude to me and to both of your parents, and to me is the return. And some of the parents, and we know for sure, we hope that no Muslim would ever do this. They take their kids, their babies, to go to the mall and sit on a stranger's lap, wearing a suit and a mask. You don't even know his identity. And you take your baby and sit him on his lap because he said he's Santa Claus. Right? And this man who was known as the best Santa Claus ever, he was arrested for violating children internationally. Why do you think he took the job? He was a pedophile. That's a perfect job for them. Why do you think he took the job? And they found over 1,000 illicit images of children on his computer. Parents sitting their kids on his lap. There's a principle that I heard Shaykh al-Bukhari mention, and even the non-Muslims write about this principle. It's called third generation assimilation. And that is when immigrants migrate to this country, when they first get here, they're able to hold on to their language, their culture, and their religion. And the second generation, they balance the two. But by the time you get to the third generation, meaning the grandchildren of those who came here, they lose the language, they lose the culture, and most importantly, they lose their religion. By the third generation, their religion is gone. And that's for those people that try to hold on to it. Imagine those households, and perhaps where those masajid that tell the people it's okay to celebrate Christmas. Those Muslim homes that put up a Christmas tree and put up Christmas lights, trying to get the favor and the pleasure of their non-Muslim neighbors. You don't have to do all that. Imagine those who tell their families that the people of the book are believers and they're going to paradise. You're going to speed up the process of losing Islam from your bloodline. Be firm upon this religion. Don't seek the pleasure of the people at the expense of earning the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
وأن نفخة إسرافيل ثانية في الصور حقا فيحيى كل من قبضا